What happened?
What's up, far away family? How's everyone doing today? We got one hell of a show for you today. As you see, I'm wearing a dress like I promised because we're going to be talking about Tales of the Jedi. And we're going to be learn what we learned about in the shorts, and you know, maybe it was an informational series, maybe it was. So get something to eat and drink, sit back and relax as we take you through a journey of Tales of the Jedi.
Hey, hold on.
Hey,
you're not wearing a dress
now. Hold on.
You're not wearing a dress because
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of gods.
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now tuned in to LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
So how's everybody doing today? What's going on? As y'all see, I'm wearing a dress like I promised.
Yep.
And I got on
lipstick.
makeup.
And lipstick, yeah.
oh no!
I'm one ugly ass woman, but that's all right. I promised. I said that I was
Hot
going to do it,
damn.
and I did it.
It's getting
Jesus.
hot in here. I'm just kidding. It's not getting
What's going
hot.
on, Star Wars team leader Lenny? Got Chris in the chat. Got Bodie.
I know, Leonard. I know. He cut me off. The way he made it sound before he did this, before he did the introduction, he made it sound like he's wearing the dress just because of Tales of the Jedi, and I wanted to be specific and be like, no, he's not so excited. He decided to put on a dress for Tales of the Jedi. He lost the damn game, and that's why he's wearing.
Yes, I lost. Yes, I lost.
Because the way he put it seemed like he was wearing a dress because of Tales of the Jedi, and I'm like,
Hey, at least
he
my
wouldn't
chest is
just
big
do
enough that I got. It looks like I got breasts. You know what I'm saying? I ain't so skinny. It's just flat.
Oh,
Hey,
geez.
Chris, welcome. Chris's dog got his first bird pheasant hunting. That's good.
Awesome.
That's good. That's dope.
awesome.
I ain't been pheasant hunting in a grip. I ain't been hunting in like shit years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I used to go hunting all the time. Me and my pops used to go hunting all the time. But
Yeah.
We were
just got
supposed to
old,
this
so.
year, but with everything
I used to
going
go
on in the
hunting,
house,
But now it's been
kinda
like
hard.
2 years.
Good
Okay,
year.
so today we're mostly going to be talking about Tales of the Jedi. You know, because we're going to see what kind of information it may or may not have provided us. But if you haven't watched this episode or this show before, you know that we kind of get off on tangents sometimes.
shit.
So we always come back to Star Wars. Plus, as always, we're going to have the what if, news and rumors, and the Star Wars Impossible quiz. So stick around. We got a lot of stuff coming and some news stuff that's pretty exciting. And I got a video to show you guys that I don't know if everybody's seen yet. I don't think a lot of people have seen this video yet. It just came out an hour ago, so I don't think it's been, at least that's what they said. But first, we got a tradition here at LightSaber Radio, something that we do just to, you know, get our creative juices flowing, get our outrageous juices flowing. All form of the icebreaker. And we call that the Hothbreaker upon the Empire Strikes Back. And Garrison's going to give us a crazy scenario, and then we're going to give our most outrageous responses. And we want everyone in the chat to join in. So, Garrison, let's do it.
All right.
Yo, I can't get over
Love
how
that.
dope that is. I can't.
No,
I really
I
can't.
love it.
I know that's Alderaan, and then it turns to Hoth, but it's still the fact that you tied that in so well, you couldn't really tell with how quick the Death
Yeah.
Star hit.
We broke
It was
Hoth.
beautiful.
We're breaking Hoth. All right.
Dude, how the girls wear this shit. This shit's getting on everything.
All right.
My wife buys the non-stain one where you put it on your lips and it doesn't stain like coffee cups, or like if you kiss somebody, it doesn't leave a mark. So
wife don't wear
when you
makeup
lose
no more.
again and you got to wear another dress here in the
I'm not
future,
ever gonna lose again. This is the first and last time I will ever lose. All right, so
All right.
what's the
got you.
housebreaker?
We got new characters from Tales of the Jedi, and we got to include them, new female characters. So kiss, marry, kill. But you know what I mean by kiss. You got Ahsoka's mom, Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's friend in that last episode. Kiss, marry, kill.
Ahsoka's friend in the last episode. Oh,
Yeah, you know the
one chick
girl-
that
the
she
girl
saves.
Yeah. See,
Ahsoka's mom. Or did you say
That's weird.
Ahsoka too?
yeah, you got
Ahsoka's
Ahsoka
mom,
in there.
Ahsoka, and that chick that she saved. I don't know what her name is, but you know who I'm talking about. In that last episode.
All right, we're gonna check out Star Wars Team Leader's Instagram because he said he did a mod on his AK-47 for the Star Wars thing. That's gonna be kind of dope. We'll have to check that. We'll do that sometime in the show. Just remind me later on because we got some shit to get over, or to get through.
Kissing Ahsoka's mom. I'm marrying Ahsoka, and I'm killing that girl. I don't know what it is about. Like Ahsoka's mom looks just like Ahsoka, so you couldn't really go wrong.
Hey, can we pick doing all three? Hey, I'm in a dress. I should I should get a thing. And you know, this is kind of freeing though. My nuts is getting all kind of air and
I'll
shit.
add in Yaddle if you want to.
Yaddle.
I'll do Yaddle.
Oh yeah, I'd probably do Yaddle.
Of course you
too.
would.
She's short.
You would add to the
Do
species.
you know who she's voiced by? Do you know who voices her?
Who voices her?
Bryce Dallas Howard. I win.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're doing Yaddle. You're doing Yaddle.
I'm doing Yaddle.
Kyle's like, oh, you sold me on Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing Yaddle. All right, what does everybody say in the chat? Hey, I fixed the chat, so y'all's chat should come through faster now. I don't know, there was like a 60-second time limit on when the chats could pull up. I put it down to 1 second. So y'all's chat should go in really a lot
There's
faster.
a setting for it?
Yeah, there's a setting in YouTube. I was looking at something else, and I just seen it. I was like, what? There's a chat setting where 60 seconds between each chat can come through. So it was set at 60 seconds. I put it down to 1.
Get the fuck out of here, YouTube. Don't delay us. We're trying to have fun with our fans.
Yeah. While we wait, let's see.
Okay, the delay's at 1 second. You can type away.
If you could type that fast, if you suck like me, they got on a whole different conversation. I was on 1313 one day. They was on a whole different conversation, and I couldn't even get. I was like, they ain't even talking about that no more. Delete. Let me see here. I should be able to do it.
So I'm doing Yaddle. I'm kissing Ahsoka. I guess I'm killing Ahsoka. Because let's be honest, if you kill Ahsoka, you're like, dude, I killed Ahsoka. Like, you're pretty badass. And I'm marrying the mom.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to kill Ahsoka.
I know you don't want to kill Ahsoka, but think about it.
Ahsoka's probably the finest one out of all of them.
You kill
I don't know.
any of the other
Ahsoka
ones.
looks like her mom, though. Like that. The apple didn't fall far from that tree.
Did you post it? Hey, Star Wars Team Leader, did you post that on did you already post it on
My thing is, if you kill any of the other ones, you're just an asshole who killed an innocent person. You kill Ahsoka, it's like, damn, you can fight. You killed Ahsoka, like that's some like props to you.
Oh, that's
You know
not
what
the
I mean?
right one.
Especially since that Inquisitor's like, you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, so like if you can kill Ahsoka, you're badass.
No, I don't want
That's
to
why I'm
create a
killing
new post.
Ahsoka.
What are you talking about?
Okay, Rob, let me see what's up. I'm a lot better at this Instagram thing than Kyle.
I mean, I'm looking it up on Instagram, but I'm like, I don't remember what his name is on Instagram. Is it Rob L something?
Right here, boom. Star Wars Team Leader sent me a post.
Yeah, but it don't do no good if we can't see it on the screen. Ain't nobody gonna be able to see it on your little ass phone on the screen.
Less than
Yeah,
5
so
minutes
it's just
long.
SW_leader.
SW_leader. All right. Because I know
That's
we're
what I was
friends,
doing.
but
I wasn't
I
gonna-
ain't got time to be sitting here going through every post. SW_.
Ready for this.
Why the hell is it not pulling up? You said SW_team leader, right?
No, leader. Just leader.
Oh, just leader.
Yeah.
I'm like, no one, man. I'm like over here. I can't remember everybody. Okay, here we go.
Marry Ahsoka and have 4 sensitive kids.
Yes,
Answer.
yes, I will do that
But-
all day.
But
I
think
would
if
love-
you could kill Ahsoka. Like, you're awesome if you can kill Ahsoka.
Yeah, you kill Ahsoka, and then the rebellion fails, and then the Empire lives. Kyle will probably do that, but I don't.
Exactly. That sounds like a great plan. You did amazing. Plus, you don't need Ahsoka. You got Luke Skywalker.
Why is it not letting me pull it up? This is fucking weird. Come on, there. All right, here we go.
So go
There
to.
we go. There we go. There
I
we
was
go.
like, go to our Instagram. He sent us a chat. So
I know. I got it.
There we
Okay.
go. He got it finally. After we just spent 10 minutes.
Last was
trying
in
to pull
5
that
minutes
picture
and
up.
mod to fix Andor.
It took 5 minutes to make it not in a mod, but it took 10 minutes to pull up on the damn screen.
Yeah, it took longer than for me to get it on the screen.
hey man, see
Hey,
that
that's dope,
that looks like a Star Wars weapon to me. Like you still
Yeah,
have
that
you
looks-
still have the
I don't
AK
know, there's still
stock
wood
and
there.
everything.
Yeah, there's wood.
Yeah, that was
There's
pretty
wood.
dope.
It's-
Hey.
Yeah, you still have all that, but it looks like a Star Wars weapon at that point. It doesn't look like a screaming AK-47 on a TV screen.
Hey,
Okay, I want to give my rating for this last episode.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because you wasn't here
What were
on
your
Wednesday.
thoughts?
What did you
Yeah.
rate it as?
An Andor.
I'm gonna go with a 7. I thought it was
Okay.
pretty. I mean, there's a lot of politics again, which I don't mind that. It didn't like bore me. It didn't. I wasn't struggling to watch it. And then the prison scenes, I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. And then we see the man himself, the man who played Snoke, who's played Caesar, Smeagol. I mean, he's a fucking badass. And the fact that everybody's like, hey, do you want to come back again? You don't have to wear makeup or wear a suit. You can be yourself in this one.
Yeah,
And
that was
you
kinda
could
cool.
tell he really tapped into this role. I can't remember his name to save my life.
All
You
right.
did fantastic. You're right.
But I
So what
loved
did I
it.
rate it again? I forgot now.
You rated a 7 too, Kyle.
Yeah, I thought.
And I put it as an 8.
I liked it. I liked it because it was like, okay, well, we're not getting action, but we're getting the oppression of the Empire and how Palpatine pushed and pushed and pushed to the point where the rebellion became what it was. We're getting the what was it? PORD. Andy Serkis. Sorry.
Andy Serkis.
Thank you.
Schmiegel was so good in that episode, almost as good as Garrison's hair.
Oh,
My hair looks
Bodhi's,
pretty bad right
Bodhi's coming at you.
now. My hair does
It's,
look pretty bad right now.
It's
But Serkis is just a good actor. Like,
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. And the fact that you can see that he's finally happy to be like himself. He doesn't have to wear a suit. He doesn't have to be CGI'd in. He's just him. You can see he really enjoyed that. And seeing Saul Guerrero again.
yeah, that was cool.
I knew I should have worn a hat. Fuck you.
Hey,
If I could throw one through the screen at you, I would. I'd just be like, here, catch. But
so you
No.
gave it a 7. So I gave it a 7. You gave it a 7. Garrison, what you give it a 6? I think
No, I gave it an 8.
an 8. You went all the way up to a. Oh yeah, you gave it a high number. I was like,
Yeah.
well,
I
yeah,
liked it.
he's liking the politics behind it all. And I like that he's getting excited. We don't see this from Garrison.
hey,
No.
right
This
now,
is a lot.
Right
These
now,
last 8 episodes have been high rankings from him. It is really throwing me
know.
off. I'm waiting for a 2 or a 3 because that's just his MO. I'm waiting for his MO to come through.
hey. So
Like 2 or
you
3.
know it's rated the number 1 TV show or the number
Yes.
1 streaming show right now. Andor is. They're talking about Andor is the best Star Wars show ever, series ever.
Yes.
I don't know.
That's
I
what
don't think it messes with Mandalorian
I don't.
season
I don't think it
one.
touches
I-
Mando. I
so
think it's
like-
right beside it. I think they're going
Well,
back and
here's-
forth with each other.
I think they're different. They're completely different shows, I think.
But
So it's like it's comparing apples and oranges.
It's the same
Yeah.
circus, but two different shows. You know, you have the lion show, and then you'd have like the clowns and stuff. We've been getting a lot of the clowns and shit, but we're
shit.
getting the wow.
yeah, I forgot to turn that off. Give me a second.
But like Obi-Wan and Book of Boba Fett and all them are the clowns and the middle part of the waiting time and to the next finale show, which we're getting, which is Andor, and I'm loving it. I can't talk. Not this last week, but the following week, yes, I did give it a low ranking due to the fact that it wasn't keeping me intrigued. I went back and watched it again before I watched this episode. and it tied it in a little bit more, and I caught more to it. And I am I able to change my rating now
No.
for the previous episode, or am I
Can't
stuck
go
with
back and
that?
change your rating.
Well,
Oh,
I
The
wasn't.
rating is off your first impression.
My first impression, yes, was like a 6.5. It wasn't. It was intriguing, but it didn't like catch me like this episode did, due to the fact like Andy Serkis was in it. You had Forrest Whitaker. You had like the fact that the camps are so strict, like you can't walk out of your cell, to the point like you step out and you're shocked to death, and then you hear the one guy in the background who's like, "Man, we're gonna smell that all night." Like that's some real shit. Like the fact that they brought a lot of realism to this episode of how like the Star Wars slavery really was through the Empire was great.
It's very like concentration camp, like labor camp, communist kind of like, you know what I mean? Very like grounded and real, and wow.
And it like the quotas and the numbers, and like, oh, we get the good food if we hit this certain number. And Andy Serkis's character is so fucking stuck on hitting that number. Like,
I think they all are. That's what happens when you're in like that kind of situation. Like, literally, like the fact between pain and like not pain is that number. Like their lives are turned into that number, and they're doing good.
I don't know. I think it's a good eye catcher.
This is one of my news things, but I'm gonna say it right now. Right now, Tales of the Jedi has 100% Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
Okay, we're gonna get into this because I know there's some shit that's gonna be said from both ends. I want to hear what Garrison thinks before I even open my mouth.
Tales or Andor?
Andor.
Lenny said Tales or Andor.
I liked Tales
Andor,
because I
100%.
am such a Clone Wars. Hold on. I love Tales because I am such a Clone Wars fan, and I love that animation style. But Andor is giving me more time with the characters, more development, more story, more political aspects that we've been asking for since right after Rogue One. Like, we've wanted to know what the hell this was about and like what the Empire was. So I will always root for Andor, but I love Tales because it does bring back that childhood. Like, why did Dooku turn? Now we got that answer.
Yes.
We got that good answer. And I wanted that. And it could have been 10 minutes longer. It could have been, I would have loved a 30-minute episode.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a great point. Because I'm super happy that I got to see Dooku and that process of changing. But I feel like with such a process, it deserves like a lot longer show and a more in-depth look.
Well, I was reading an article and I guess somewhere Dave said he wrote all of those in all those shorts, like while he was on like a bus ride or something. He was like in a car. He was just jotting down shit. He was like headed to somewhere, and he just wrote that shit down, and then it ended up becoming Tales.
It sounded pretty half-assed.
Yeah, so it wasn't like he put in a lot of thought, but they were still really. I thought they were cool. I just didn't think that they. I think that they could, like a lot of like. So the point of this episode was basically to talk about what we learned from them, and honestly, I didn't learn that much. We know that fucking kids, like we've seen before, where kids have done Force sensitive things, like even infants in Rebels and in Star Wars.
We've seen it a few times in Clone Wars. So
we know that. So we didn't learn that. We didn't learn. I mean, we learned kind of about Ahsoka's culture a little bit, like their type of culture. Which, if you're anybody that's like searched into Ahsoka and their people and like Shakti's from the same people, the same race, right? Mm-hmm. You know that they're carnivores. They're like they eat raw meat and shit and their teeth are spiked. Which Ahsoka's really isn't in the show, but that might be because she's never had to live like that. Because she was sent to the Jedi Temple, and Shakti's is kind of pointy, but you don't know what her backstory is unless you go in and research that. But you kind of learn a little bit about they are really like Native Americans, in a certain form. Then you have like we didn't really learn nothing that new to me about Dooku. We know what Dooku did. We know what was the turning point in Dooku. I mean, without even getting a story told, we kind of knew that. We knew that when Qui-Gon died, that sent him over the edge. We knew that he was the one that erased the fucking data on the thing. We knew that Anakin put Ahsoka through hella training to make her as good, because she's too damn good. You just don't be that good. You get trained to be that good. So these are all things that have already been implemented, even without saying. We kind of already knew all the information.
Well, I
the
like
only
how
big bombshell that they dropped on us, and I got something to show about that, because they completely changed canon, is that Dooku killed Yaddle. That was like the only information we really got in the whole series. The only real big
so in the
information.
comics, it does have that. Well, in the comics, it does have that fight, but it's not like that. Yaddle doesn't confront Sidious and Dooku. She suspects Dooku's doing something shady, confronts him, they get in a battle, and he strikes her down and then crushes her.
Well, that's something, and I have to recant what I said last week, because it's not in the Clone Wars. It's actually in not Tales of the Jedi, Jedi, one of the other books that they talk about it. But this is what I got to show y'all. So that night, on Wednesday night, after we got done talking about it, I went to Wikipedia right then, right after we got off the show, and I checked it just to double check what I was saying, because I was like, dude, I kind of don't remember that episode now that I really think about it. And then I went back and I checked it. And this is what they said. This was on Wednesday. Okay, so let me show y'all. This is what it said on Wednesday about Yaddle. On canon, on the canon side. Let me see. Let me move this over. Okay. I'm on screen share.
All I have to say about this is, like, I loved how they tied the training into the end of the Clone Wars when they go when they're on the destroyer, the Star Destroyer, and like Rex is walking around. I like that they tied that in.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool to see, but we kind of already knew that. It wasn't no new information.
What I was going to say here is that I loved that they gave us Ahsoka, because everybody keeps asking for her. But you can give us a Clone Wars style Ahsoka series that shows her side before she meets the Ghost Crew. I would rather have that. Like,
okay, so right here it says Yaddle's final mission took place in 26 BBY. She's along with Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Padawan Anakin Skywalker, where they went to Mawan, however you say that, to attempt to restore peace in a lawless world. Yaddle sacrificed her life to save the people of Mawa, using the Force to absorb a deadly chemical weapon unleashed. And this is on the canon side. Dark blue means the canon side. Now it's changed. Now, if you go over there, and we're going to do that because I want to show y'all. And the purpose that I want to show y'all this is for a very good reason. So watch this.
It's educational purposes.
Well, that
it's not just educational. It shows the power of Disney.
Yeah, that and Disney's rewriting shit, and that's what's making this.
This is the power of Disney. Disney has the power to literally change canon. So look, we're on canon side. Legacy side is when the dark blue is on Legacy. Legacy side now has get off of there, stupid thing. Legacy side now has that story. Okay? The Legacy side now has this story, the story we were just reading. And the canon side now describes Dooku killing her.
That's some shady shit. Come on.
I screenshotted it because I was like, nope, I'm going to screenshot this shit right now. That way, can nobody go back and say that they didn't change it. They changed that shit. They changed it.
To bring this shit up. I like that you're trying to make a story behind it. But the original canon story would have been a lot better. I think having Dooku die and then having Yaddle die, instead of like the way we saw it, Dooku striking her down with his blade.
Which also, I'm sorry, but which also we got to remember that anybody can go in there and change Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Anybody can. It's like Wikipedia. Anybody can go in there and change that shit. But not too many Star Wars fans is not going to do that. They're not going to go through all that trouble to do that.
No.
But so I'm thinking that Disney had to have done it. Somebody from Disney went in there and changed that shit over, back and forth. That's why I screenshot it. As soon as we got off there, I was like, let me go look this up. and make sure that I'm not saying the wrong retarded shit. I'm over here being stupid and I done misquoted everybody something because I started thinking about it for a second. Like, I don't remember seeing that episode on Clone Wars. I know it was talked about on Clone Wars, but I don't remember it. I ever seeing it. So I'm like, I might have misquoted because, you know, I got MS brain, so I'd be forgetting shit. So I went back and I went on Wikipedia and I checked it. And as soon as I seen that on the Canon side, I screenshot it so I can have it. And then I wanted to show everybody. Disney has the ability to go in and change canon. Dave Filoni, and this was something that irritated me because I watched Star Wars Theory's video on it. Him talking about Tales of the Jedi. And he spent like a 9-minute video. He spent like the first minute to 2 minutes praising Dave Filoni and praising Disney. And I'm like, dude, you're a kiss ass. You're just doing this because you're trying to get in good with everybody because you've already had Dave on your show before. I'm pretty sure. Didn't you have Dave on the show before?
I don't pay attention to him. I think he's annoying.
But I mean, like I watch him because, you know, some of the stuff he says is good, but he was kissing ass and it's like, dude, they changed the freaking story. Just like they did with Kenobi, they changed Kenobi meeting Leia. They changed that. Kenobi had never met Leia before. Leia has never met Kenobi before. We know that from the original trilogy. Now they changed it. Now they've changed this. And then they went back in and they changed Wikipedia to say something different.
Chris, so when I see where your point is. Chris says, to be fair, if something isn't in a movie or a show for Star Wars, can we truly consider it canon? That's the thing, Chris. They talked about it in Clone Wars, about Yaddle sacrificing herself in Clone Wars. They talked about it.
It's in one of the episodes. I know for a fact they talked about it.
Yes, they talked about it.
I just thought that there was an episode about it. There's not an episode. No. That wasn't an actual episode.
They talked about it because they were talking about Dooku and how they've been losing Jedis left and right. And they talked about Yaddle's sacrifice with Obi-Wan and Anakin when Anakin was just starting out with his training. And they talked about it. And then all of a sudden, Disney's like, no, we don't like that talking conversation shit. We want to show you. But we're going to change it. We're going to make it darker. We're going to make Dooku darker.
And this is the thing. Like, most Star Wars fans know that if you want to find out something, Wikipedia is a pretty reliable source. You know, a lot of the information in there. And I could bring up the Yaddle's thing on the Star Wars Encyclopedia. It says the same thing. And in the Star Wars Ultimate Edition Encyclopedia, it says it on that. And it also says it in the Star Wars Character Encyclopedia. Them are all three supposed to be canon. Well, the Star Wars regular encyclopedia, they got a lot of legend shit in there because they talk about the Yuuzhan Vong and shit. But anyway, the other two are definitely, they are canon based. They say canon on the backs of the books. They are canon. And they all give the same story of her dying by sucking in the gas in a force bubble and holding it in, and she ends up sacrificing herself to die. They went in and changed this. Most of the stuff that's in the encyclopedias most of the stuff on Wikipedia is taken out of the encyclopedias. So that's my biggest problem with the series. I like the overall series itself. I do. I liked it. It was cool. It was fun to watch. I like the animation that they do, the animation style. I like all that. But I did not like the fact that they changed canon. And it seems like this is about, they're bringing more legacy stuff into canon and they're changing canon. And everybody that knows me, I don't mind. I don't get into the old legacy canon argument fight shit. I don't do that. I like legacy shit too. You know, I like all the books. But at the same time, for people to say we're going to stick in Kathleen Kennedy and Dave and John and all them have said we are going to stick to the best we can to the canon timeline, and then they turn around and just change two major things within two series. We ain't even all the way through Andor yet, and they've already changed something in Kenobi, and they changed something with Tales of the Jedi, and that's what I'm like. All right, can we just say that there's no such thing as canon and legend no more, and everything is open game for them to do what they want to do? Yeah. Because that's really where we're at.
It's really just Disney. It's Disney.
Well, my biggest,
Disney's turning it into what they want. Like
it's
the same story with all the Star Wars.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I liked it. I think if we could, we know Ahsoka, we know Anakin, we know what Anakin put Ahsoka through. I like that you kind of got more of an in-depth kind of training. I loved seeing Rex again and all, but we could have went without it.
I said that too.
You could have.
I said that when I was watching. I was like, "Oh shit, TJ's gonna have a shit fit. Rex is back. He's gonna go out just to see Rex."
Hey man, you know how I am with my clone troopers, but that's the thing. Yeah, that made me happy. That kind of that struck like a cool oh thank God we get Rex again moment. But I didn't want more Ahsoka yet. I wasn't like there's gonna be a whole fucking TV show. I love the Dooku aspect due to the fact that Dooku has always been mysterious. You get
it's
here
not
and there.
really that mysterious.
That's what I'm saying.
In the Clone Wars, they kind of showed they show Cypher Diaz in that vision. So he wasn't there. He was already messed up. If you go to the books, you go to Dooku and you go to the books, you know that Cypher Diaz was messed up. He went crazy. So we know that Cypher Diaz didn't go in there and delete the Jedi archives. You knew Dooku did that. Dooku was the only one that did it. He was already working. He was still a Jedi. He hadn't left the Jedi Temple, and he was still working with. He was already becoming a Sith. He was already working with Sidious. These are just implied things that we got from books and Clone Wars. We kind of knew all this information.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind it. Like, I love there was a mystery because we didn't really know why fully or how. Yeah, the how and the what
why,
really
a bit of why.
Well, yeah, we don't really know why Dooku changed, and then and you can see his intentions weren't clear up until he killed Yaddle.
Well, his intentions was clear.
You saw the struggle, though. That's what I'm saying. You see that he's looking at a friend, and he doesn't want to strike his friend down, but he has to because he's already too far in. He can't back out now because he knows he knows Sidious is going to kill him.
You're also seeing the thoughts that led him to that moment.
Yeah. But I liked that. Could we, I was trying to say, is I loved the Dooku. Cool, you gave me some Dooku. I wanted more of the younger Dooku. What made him dark? What made him even darker? What made him a scary opponent to the Jedi? Cool, we got that. The Ahsoka part, I could have done without that. You could have given us a backstory on any other one, like Plo Koon, Kid Mundi, fucking Kit Fisto.
Dave said they're going to make more of them, and actually, I think there was on Reddit there was a leak about the next some of the next combinations that they're going to do.
I would split it in half. I don't need to know why Dooku went dark. Don't give me a Tales of the Jedi, and give me a dark aspect.
I think it was season.
Give me Tales of the Jedi and then Stories of the Sith. Or
Bodhi asked what season of the Clone Wars it was that they were talking about.
Legends of the Sith.
It was
or Legends of the Sith. You
wasn't
give
it
me
right
Tales
after?
Of the Jedi.
Wasn't it right after? Wasn't it in season 5? Right after the because they were sitting there. They was doing something. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was Anakin. It might be in season 3 because it might have been after they came back from when they came back from where the super force beings was at, the daughter, the father, and the son. Right after they came back, after that,
the daughter, the father, and the son.
Yeah, the Father,
and
the
Holy
Son,
Spirit.
and the Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Jesus,
what is that called? What's the name of that arc?
Mortis
arc. Yeah, I think it's right after the Mortis arc because they're all sitting there talking about it. They're talking about losing the Jedi. It might be season 5 though. It's either season 3 or season 5. I know it ain't in season 4.
But like I said, I don't mind the Ahsoka part. Cool,
Mortis,
we got Ahsoka. I could have done without the Ahsoka. You could have given me Mace, stories about Mace, and because when we hear the stories about Mace Windu, he was
the only problem is on the other Clone Wars, that the one that had the crazy animation, the one that was only on
the good
YouTube
one, yeah.
ones. That one gave a lot of Mace. They had a lot of Mace episodes in that little spin-off thing. So I know, and we all know that that's definitely not canon or even legends. That's just some made-up shit. But it does give you a lot of that. So you got to think about what characters. This is the thing. I don't like the fact that they changed canon.
I agree.
But I do like the fact that they showed Dooku killing Yaddle, and that's how he got full Sith. You know what I'm saying? I do like that
Right.
fact because that was kind of like what
Well,
we know the things that kind of like really pushed them over the edge. We know that when
Right.
Qui-Gon got pushed over, when Qui-Gon died, it pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
It's like Anakin. It's his last step.
Yeah. So I didn't mind seeing it. I just didn't like that they changed. It's like, what the
Oh,
hell?
and I love that Dooku's like, this wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That wasn't a part of the plan.
I think CJ's onto something though. I like the idea of having like Tales of the Jedi and Stories of the Sith, and you could have like this ongoing miniseries, and you could introduce a lot of like previously thought legends characters and give a little bit of backstory. Like you.
Well,
could
you know that
easily
they're
introduce-
bringing. You know that they're bringing way more legends into the
Yeah.
into
But I
canon
think this
because they
short-
done brought in. I mean, just Dave
Yeah.
himself has brought in like what 7 characters, 8 characters.
But these
So-
shorts, I think these shorts are a great way to introduce new characters. Like just to even
You know what they
market
should do?
test. They could do.
They should do
Revan
a
episode.
short on Revan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a
You can-
great market test.
And then-
it sees how many people might be interested in it, and depending on how that goes, then you can go a full story. With the Revan,
Yeah,
one,
that's a
you
good
shoot like
idea. That's
you need
a
like
good
10,
idea.
15-minute episode, and it doesn't even have to be his origins. Just a brief Revan story, just to gauge interest of fans. And you could have like I think CJ had a great point. You could have Tales of the Jedi, Legends of the Sith. You do a couple Sith stories, do a couple Jedi stories,
And
just
you can even do
little
like a lot of the
shorts from
pirate
across
stuff.
Star
Like
Wars universe.
you can do the pirate character. You can do all the characters of
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's
Bring
a-
in new
But
characters.
you
great
need
thing.
to focus morely. Like everybody loves the Jedi and the Sith. They want those stories. They want to know what made Palpatine Palpatine, what made Plagueis Plagueis,
Right.
what made Malik Malik. Like you can give us these stories in 20 minutes,
Right.
and
And
give
it-
us 3 episodes of each, and you could have hundreds of seasons of this and give us the content we need. Because
Right.
if it's 100% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, that means everybody's loving that shit. They're eating it up.
right.
I
Ride
doubt
that
that they
train.
edited that, Chris. Chris says we
And-
probably need to go back to the Clone Wars episode and see if there's been edited now.
And I don't
I
like how
doubt
they're
think that they'll
rewriting
do that.
canon.
They ain't gonna go that because there's not. You gotta understand. There might be millions and millions of Star Wars fans, but there's only a few, and I'd probably say maybe 100,000 out of 2 million Star Wars fans that is like really like us. That's gonna be really that in depth. Most people don't even care. They ain't gonna spend the time to take. You think about it, on an average YouTube video that has to do with Star Wars, even like the best with like Star Wars Theory and what's his face, that other idiot.
I know who you're talking about. Zero.
You know, you're only looking at, they might get 1 million views on a video. Might. So, I mean, I just don't, with all the Star Wars fans, and I mean, I'm probably way under calculating how many Star Wars fans there is and how many, you know, they're not going to go
How
back. But
invested they are.
it's too easy for them to change Wikipedia. To go back and edit an episode and re-release it and put it back out and do all that's a lot of work. I don't think they'll do that. What they'll say is that they'll do what they did when the other shit came up. They'll just stay quiet because what did Disney, what did Dave, what did John, what did anybody say when they asked about Leia and Kenobi knowing each other? They was like, "Oh, you guys will see what happens." That's all they said. They kind of gave us the cold shoulder and just said, you know, okay, you'll see. It'll play into the right time. Like, dude, it can't play into the right time because it didn't happen. You know, it never happened. That's how they'll do us. But it's so, I mean, which is not, like I said, it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't care for it. Like, don't change shit. But that's just me personally. And I know there's a lot of fans out there that are like that. Like, don't change shit. Like, leave shit the fuck alone, man. Just don't change it. You have so much shit you could be writing about. There ain't no reason to change anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no reason to do it. You can go in so many different directions without having to change shit. But you also got to understand, Dave is the one that wrote the original shit. So if Dave wants to change it, Dave can fucking change it. He can do what he wants. But I do agree with CJ on the fact of that these little stories would do such a huge thing to just fill in, just to get to know the characters a little bit better. And just to know he stole my damn idea because one of the podcasts that's coming out next year is Who Is Who in Star Wars, and that's what I'm going to be covering in on that podcast, I'm going over every character in Star Wars. I'm gonna start off with canon, and then I'm gonna go back to legend, and I'm gonna go through each character, and we're gonna get to know these characters. So, Dave, you stole my damn idea. No, I joke.
Well, I think these stories are a great way to kind of test out new characters. Like, I don't like how they're changing canon. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of the show, but I think the potential for the show is definitely there, and they could do a lot more with it. I think it's a great way to test out new characters or old characters, and and with like Legends characters like Revan, because they're such short episodes, you can create a good story that doesn't contradict what people already
don't ever
know
let
about
that
them.
come out of your mouth again. Revan is now canon.
That's true.
They canonized Revan, and
He has been canon.
True.
that's
But,
the
like,
thing,
all
though.
of his stories, I mean,
If it was up to George, it would only be the 6 movies and Clone Wars. That's it. All this other shit, by what George said, is not canon. It's all extended universe. And the only thing that bothers me about it is when Disney bought Lucasfilms, they are the ones that separated extended universe and Legends and made it Legends. And they said it was off limits. But then you turn around and you guys are using a bunch of Legends stuff. And it's like, dude, why would you even do that? Like, why say that if there's no reason for it? If you're going to use it, I don't care. I don't like the storyline changing, but there's too much Legend stuff it's great that I like. And because I'm a big book, I think what really got me into Star Wars, like, so hard, like, I always liked the movies, but like what really got me immersed into it is listening to all the books and reading all the books. That's what really immersed me into Star Wars and made me a super fan, because I'm like, dude, there's so much fun. It's just fun. It's entertaining. It's fun, and it lets me, like I said before, it lets me get out of the monotony of the world and I don't have to worry about that. I can just focus on Star Wars. And that's what makes it good. And I think that these stories could do the exact same thing. I think that they could come in and they could really do a service to Star Wars. And they're short. They're like 10, 15, 20 minutes long. I mean, you could tell a lot. I mean, it wasn't like, none of the stories was like spectacular. It wasn't nothing great. We've seen them before in the Book of Ahsoka. That was basically the one where she kills the Inquisitor. The one before that, her training, which was in what was it? What book was that in, CJ? It was in I want to say Rebel Alliance. Was it Rebel Alliance? The one that was talking where she's having the flashbacks of her training. So it was like a bunch of stuff that they just fit together off of other stories anyway. They just kind of wrote a story based on, because you even look at it. The first 2 Dooku episodes are exactly the same episode. There's no difference. They go to a planet. Dooku turns bad, tries to kill somebody. Boom. Second one, he turns bad. The evil comes out of him. He kills a dude. Mace is looking at him crazy. Qui-Gon is looking at him crazy in the first one. Like, what are you doing, man? We ain't even here for that. You know what I'm saying? But it was basically the same thing. A senator is doing wrong to the planet. Their planet. And the Jedi are sent in to figure it out. That's basically, it's the same story.
yeah.
And then the third one was what sent him over the edge and really made him killing Yaddle in that story that's when he became Sidious's apprentice. And I still like, that was one of the favorite lines is in that episode. My favorite line. Your apprentice killed my apprentice. Well, then Obi-Wan killed him. We both lost an apprentice. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I love that line by Sidious. I was like, oh, that's great. That made me want to, my new puppy I'm getting, because I'm about to get a new puppy. I'm about to name him either Maul or Sidious, one of the two.
Leonard makes a great point. He said they're grocery shopping Legends and Canon to make their own story, culminating in one story. I can't remember what interview it was, but it was Kathy being interviewed. I think that's right. They're kind of just picking and choosing what they like, inserting things that they like better. I don't know.
And I mean, like I said, the actual story of him killing Yaddle is not a bad story. Like I said, it bothers me that they changed it. It's like, why would you change it?
I
Like
think
all
you
this
could have
time, it's
just as
been this other
easily-
story.
Yeah, you could have just as easily had him kill any other Jedi.
Yeah, anybody.
As part of that
like
transformation.
a Jedi that we ain't
Right.
never even heard about
Yeah,
or seen.
dude.
Create a whole new one and just have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You
this dude was
could've
on
done
the
the
council. He was
stupid-ass
dope as shit.
librarian.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
oh, I'd love to see
and,
that.
and he killed him. But I mean, but I also think, and they're playing with Yaddle a lot because in phase 2. A lot of the books is based on stuff that Yaddle does. Then they came out with Tales of the Jedi. It has Yaddle in it and her death. So it kind of, they're kind of, I think that they see the marketing value of Yoda first, then Baby Yoda or Grogu or however you want to say it, and then Yaddle. I think
the only reason Yaddle might be getting popular is because of Baby Yoda and because she's a potential mother. I feel like that's the only reason
I'm
people
still
are
on the
interested
theory that Yoda and Yaddle kind of had
That's what I'm
a
saying.
drunken night one night,
in her.
and that's how we got Grogu.
I think that's the only reason interest in Yaddle is starting to spike. I think the only reason is because of Baby Yoda.
Dude, if they lead to that, that's just going to be dope. Because you got to think about it. In all of the galaxy, and all of the movies, and all of the Clone Wars, and all of everything, you've literally seen 3 of these characters. You got Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu. That's it. That's all you got. So if there's only 2, a man and a woman of this species, and then a baby comes along in the whole galaxy that you have seen, you kind of, it's implied on what happened. They had a drunken night and they lost. Because look at almost every Jedi, when you're reading through the books, almost every Jedi has a weakness. Revan got married. What's his face got 11, 12, 20 kids or something like that. What's his
Get on Monday, it was a man whore.
He got a grip of kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, so do you know that they slip up? You know that they slip up.
Right.
You can't go against. I mean, and that was one of the reasons the downfall of Anakin. The downfall of Anakin because
The hypocrisy.
he was gonna get him some. You know what I'm saying? He was gonna get him some. You can't take away human nature or nature of species to repopulate away from you. We all have those urges. And that's basically, I think that Yaddle and Yoda said, hey, we got to keep our species going. They might even not even have like a drunken night. They might have sat back and said, in the Force, you know what I'm saying, we have to keep our species going.
Sex?
You know what I'm saying? Not in the Force having sex, but like, you know what I'm saying? How do you know Yaddle didn't have a freaking vision?
They sat down together.
The Force told me
hey,
in this vision that we should procreate to have a baby. And they could play it out where they don't even ever have sex. They could do artificial insemination or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? They got the technology. Shit, if we can do it, they definitely can do it. They got way better technology than us. They just can't keep sad people from dying. So, you know what I'm saying? They have the same problem as us. People.
I'm having one of those natural urges, not the sexual, but I gotta pee. So pause.
You don't know what but I have a feeling that they're leading up that because where did Grogu come from? Everybody's asking that. Just like everybody's been asking where Yoda comes from. Or Yaddle comes. Nobody's really asked where Yaddle comes from, but it's coming. You know it's gonna come.
Yeah, but George already said that is not to be touched.
Yeah, it's not to be told. I think it's in a contract that he said that you are not allowed to come up with a thing. But that doesn't mean that they can't come up with a character that they created like Baby Yoda. How did he get there? They tell the story of Yoda and Yaddle getting together. And they might have did it because they were trying to get Grogu to live and have Grogu being born so their species can survive. That's not doing it out of wants or needs or anything that's against the Jedi code. You're not doing it for that then. You're doing it to keep your species alive. You know what I'm saying? That don't have anything to do with breaking the code.
Yeah, no, that's just...
Because you're not doing it for an emotional reason. You're doing it for procreation to create a life. And I have a feeling, I don't know, just having this conversation, I just got this feeling that that's what they're leading to. That's why they're bringing Yaddle up so much, is because they got to get more of a backstory of Yaddle. They got to show you more of Yaddle. And they're showing you more in phase 2 of... they're showing more of Yoda and his backstory, so then they bring them together at some certain point in time that they did that. That's why she was gone for a while, is because she was pregnant.
Yeah, but I think...
And that's why she left the Jedi Council. Because she ain't even in the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
If you read up on it, she's not even in the Jedi Council when Dooku kills her. She's not on the
Yeah.
council no more.
Yeah, but
She had already left the
here's my
council.
thing. I feel like the time doesn't match up very well. Well, I guess Baby Yoda's like 50 years old.
Yeah, he's 50 years old in The Mandalorian, so 50 years
This
ain't that
is-
long.
No.
You
This
got to
is
figure the
20
Clone
years
Wars
before
happened, what,
BBY?
20 years? The Clone Wars happened, what, 20 years before? Yeah, it happened about 20, 25 years before the,
She dies in 26 BBY.
yeah.
And when
All you got to say is, when is The Mandalorian? That's like, Mandalorian is happening, what,
Grogu was probably born around 41 BBY.
Fair.
Yeah, but you got to remember, it's going back in time.
I know, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
backwards, so that means he could be born.
So it fits.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
So this is like, BBY is like before the Battle of Yavin.
Right.
So that means 41
So it fits.
years.
She could be his mom.
Yeah, she could be his mom.
What I think it is I think obviously Grogu shows, it sparked an interest in Yaddle because it could be a mom. Now Yaddle is a character where they have a lot of free range with. So
And a lot of stuff is coming out with her because all of the new books, the phase 2 of what the hell is it? Why can't I think of the name of the dang books? What are they called? The freaking High Republic.
High Republic.
Yeah, all of
They
them, like
created the
the
interest.
phase 2 is supposed to be based. It's supposed to have Yaddle in it a lot. They're promoting Yaddle. They got posters that she's on. She's already in like 3 of the books. They're promoting Yaddle, and Yoda's in them books too. So I think it's somewhere in the books, or they're gonna come out with some
It's
type of
gonna be a
episode or
show.
something that's gonna happen
It has to be a show. Disney's not
with
gonna let
them
anybody
getting
take
together
over.
for keeping their lineage, their so they don't go extinct. And that's how Grogu gets here, because then that explains where Grogu come from. Then they can explain, you know what I'm saying, everything that happened before that, because he's 50 years old, but he's a baby. Like, he's never really had any overall force training other than what Luke gave him in the Book of Boba Fett. That's his force training. He's still a baby at 50. Like, he's still an infant. I mean, he's like 2 years old. Like, he hasn't had no formal instruction other than what Luke gave him in the Book of Boba Fett. So we can learn a lot about this. I think that's the direction that they're going. They're going to a direction that leads to more information about Yoda and Yaddle to go to Grogu, because Grogu is their money child right now. Grogu is where it's all coming to. We're going to find out Ahsoka has something tied in with Grogu before she's seen him in Mandalorian. I think all these things is gonna tie in. I think Dave and John got something up their sleeve. They're gonna tie all this in, and then the end of it all is gonna be, or not the end, but it's gonna go off from Baby Yoda as he grows. Because we can't get the story of Yoda, but they can give us the story of Grogu. His training, what he goes through, him being in a Mandalorian, and how he combines, like how he gets the whole galaxy to kind of come together to fight some great enemy. He'll get the Mandalorians because he has the Mandalorian. He has Boba Fett. He's going to get, you know what I'm saying? He's going to get what left of the Jedi, Ahsoka and Ezra and everybody, because they're going to find Ezra and Ahsoka. And then all of it's going to come together into one giant battle with some fucked up, hopefully it's the Yuzhong Vong, because that would be dope. Or some entity that comes into the galaxy, some superpower, and they're going to bring it all together. I think that's what's going to happen. I'll probably be dead before it gets there, but if it does happen, somebody got to come back and say, hey, that fucker Kyle on LightSaber Radio was right. he said it in a dress on the show.
He was wearing a dress and lipstick. I promise you can find the episode.
I seen that episode. I promise you I did. But I think that's where it's going to come to. I think it's going to come to some. They're bringing everything to a point. They're bringing everything to a point.
My biggest thing with this, like I said, my only issue is like I loved all of this because of the animation, the style, and everything. I've always enjoyed that animation style. It brings that childhood, the memories of going and watching it with my grandfather back, like I've talked about in the past when we talked about the Clone Wars. And like I said, I love Ahsoka. I mean, she's Phoenix's favorite character. I mean, I think she's a dope-ass character. but I didn't need more. I know Anakin is such an anal retentive fuck when it comes to training because he wants to be the greatest of the greatest. He wants to be untouchable. And what makes you untouchable is training people like you. Or training people to be lesser so you look like you're untouchable. But that's not Anakin's MO. So, I mean, it was cool to see that. I didn't want it. I didn't want it. But I wanted the Dooku.
Bodie brought up a very good point. He said, what if it was said in the Clone Wars was just to cover up the story by the Jedi hiding their flaws? That's a good point.
What was
all of the Clone Wars is just this? It's just the aspect of the Jedi's. It's not the aspect of the galaxy. It's the stories of the Jedi.
No, what he's talking about is just to cover up the fact that Yaddle is dead and it's their fault because of their own flaws.
What?
Like, like they should have known what was going on, and Yaddle was dead because they messed up. Because she even says that's one of the reasons that she left the council, at least was what it said or implied in the Tales of the Jedi, is because she understands that the Jedi are flawed. Remember, when she's talking to Dooku about what's going on. Before he tries to kill her and she's explaining to him all the things that you've done wrong, they can be redone or they can be fixed. If you keep moving forward, it's going to be bad. I get where you're coming from. The Jedi are flawed. That's why I left the council. She says that in Tales of the Jedi.
I really did like that Dooku story though. It has a lot of ties to like real life as well. I think when people leave religions even. You know what I mean? It's a similar process of like, this is flawed, but do I want to go this way? And that internal struggle they have.
And then he said maybe it will be the gremlins. They will come get wet paws and pod offspring. That'd be crazy if the fucking galaxy got overthrown by gremlins. They did it already. Their goal is to validate the sequel. I don't know if they're going to validate the sequel trilogy. I really just believe Disney knows it was like a giant mistake and they're just trying to wipe the sequel trilogy under the rug.
I disagree.
I don't think they're pushing too much for the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, I really don't think they're going to go anywhere near it. I think
there's been, 2 books about the sequel trilogy.
Why, if they don't want to touch the sequel trilogy, they're still marketing it like Disneyland, Disney World. That's what all of Star Wars Land is about the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, because you got but 2, which that's one of the questions today. I got some good questions, but I think you guys might know the answers to these ones. I didn't try to make it as hard. I really tried not to make it as hard.
I don't know. I think, it's really like, because Disney's doing some good shit lately. I'm not a big fan of Tales of the Jedi, I'll be honest, but Andor's doing really well. So I think we could see Disney either continuing to like try to make what they make the Star Wars that everybody knows, like with the sequels and rewriting characters and rewriting canon, or they can just go in a new direction, new Star Wars, not rewrite things, but things like Andor, and really make those things kind of good. They're
honestly, I think they're standing in a circle and they're throwing up a bunch of feathers, seeing what's going to land in that circle. That's a good point. They're just throwing out shit and seeing what we're liking right now, and then they'll kind of start going to that direction.
That's a good point.
Oh, here we go with Bodie talking about Rey Skywalker is the GOAT. First off, she's not a Skywalker. I'm not even going to argue with you today.
She won't be back.
Yeah, she's not coming back. I don't think that they're going to bring her back.
No, she's done. She's dead and gone.
I think that would be a mistake on Disney's part.
Well, I don't think it would be a mistake. Honestly, if they came out with really good stories, they have Rey, but we know they're not going to have Finn. But I can see.
I don't think the stories can be good because of how bad the sequel stories were.
I mean, if they came out with a story about like we talked about it before, like if they showed Rey going out into the galaxy and trying to be what the Jedi really were, that equal person, because you got to understand with Rey, it made an entire circle. Because the original Jedi were not light side or dark side. They didn't play that. They were in the middle. Ashlyn and Bogan.
Ashlyn and Bogan.
Yeah, and Bogan. They were in the middle. They didn't stir too far to the dark side, and they didn't go too far to the light. And it made a complete circle all the way back to her. That was kind of the mission of the Rise of Skywalker, the end of the Skywalker trilogy, from the very beginning of the Jedi to the very end of the Jedi. So, like, Rey is not a Jedi in things. She has both. So she's an equal part. That's why her lightsaber is yellow. That's what the indication of the yellow lightsaber. I would like to see a character like Rey that's an equal part going into the galaxy and doing what the Jedi was supposed to do. Because that's one of the reasons that makes the Dooku series so good. He realizes that the Jedi are flawed and they're serving, and something that Yoda and Mace Windu say later on is that they're serving the Republic. They're not serving the people no more.
They're serving the Senate, right?
They're serving the Senate, the Republic. They're not serving the people. They're serving the hierarchy, the politicians. They're not going to do what Jedi were supposed to do. That was their flaw. That's where they messed up, because they put all their things that we serve the Republic. And even right now, going through Brotherhood, Obi-Wan is serving the Republic. He's not serving the people of the Republic. He's serving the Republic. It's about the Republic. And that was the flaw that they faced. And that's one of the reasons that a lot of Jedis left the order, because they weren't doing what the Jedi were supposed to be doing. Now, some of them turned to the dark side because they were manipulated into thinking that this order that was going to give it a safe and secure and free, empire or republic. And that's not what happened. They gave control to the Sith. And the Sith are not about freedom and all that shit. They're about control and slavery, and that's what Palpatine is about. And that was the reason Palpatine was able to come into power, because they didn't understand that they weren't being Jedi no more. They had lost the sense of what it meant to be a Jedi. They thought that they were still doing the right thing, but they weren't. Basically, they were being Sith in a good sense of the form, because they were going out to control what happened in the galaxy on behalf of the Senate.
Bodhi, no. No more. No more Rey shit. Wipe that off the board. It didn't happen, in my opinion.
Oh, man.
Do not.
But the only thing is, see, we know that what's his face that played Finn is not coming back. We know that he's not coming back at all. I think if they
John
came
Boyega.
to Daisy Ridley, because she ain't doing shit, if they came there and said, we want to make another movie with you in it, she's gonna come. So I can see that happening. Finn's not coming back. I can see what's his face that plays Poe. He could come back. John Boyega would come back.
John Boyega is not coming back. The guy
he would.
Finn. If you gave him enough money. He felt disrespected.
Why did he feel disrespected?
He was calling racist the whole time.
Who? John Boyega? John Boyega, the dude to play Finn, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But the dude to play Poe, the dude to play Poe, he'll come back.
Not now.
Poe might.
I don't think he will, due to the fact that now he's playing Moon Knight. I think he's got his own character, his own show, his own lineup in a Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think he'll jump back over to Star Wars due to the fact that he's a good character.
You do have to realize that now, and just like y'all pointed out with Keanu Reeves, that it's Disney. It's not Lucas and Marvel no more. We're gonna see a lot of cross.
But you're gonna look at this man and give him a story, and he's not gonna like it. And then what's gonna happen? It's gonna piss a lot of fans off. Harrison Ford, yes, Harrison Ford is now playing Red Hulk. That has already been released. I can't I love that casting due to the fact
Harrison Ford is a million. He can't play shit no more.
He's
How the hell is he gonna be the Hulk?
Well, because he's playing fucking goddamn it. Betty's father, I can't remember his name, General something.
Oh, I thought he was actually playing the Hulk.
No, his character
is a million.
Well, no, he is for the character. Bruce Banner's first love interest, Betty. I don't know if you remember watching the first two Hulk movies before we got the Mark Ruffalo ones.
I didn't watch none of the Hulk shit.
The General. Do you remember Tony Stark when he's sitting in the bar and that General talks to him about the Avengers Initiative?
Yeah.
That's the General. That's Betty's dad. He turns into the Red Hulk.
And Harrison Ford is going to play
Harrison Ford was casted as that General, which makes no sense because the actor that plays that General is still alive. He's still a great actor. He is around the same fucking age as Harrison Ford.
Dude,
I don't
a
know why
million?
you're reaching.
How old
I
is
don't know
Harrison
why-
Ford? He was 81 when he crashed that plane, and that was like 10 years ago.
Dude,
So
yeah,
what, he's
Harrison
90
Ford's fucking
something?
old.
How old is Harrison Ford?
Old.
Give me a number.
How old is Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Hey Siri,
He's old.
how old's Harrison Ford?
You got to be like 90.
He's 80 even.
Oh,
He's 80.
He's
You're
not
still old
I
as
thought.
shit. That's
But-
old as dirt.
That don't mean anything.
You walked with Jesus if you're 80 years
Clint-
old. Jesus
Clint
Christ.
fucking Eastwood is older than him, and the man's still directing and acting in movies. Don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I love Harrison Ford. I would love to see him not in this role due to the fact that it's not his character. There's already the actor for that character.
I'm
I
about to
would
turn
love
45 next month, and I feel like I'm a millionaire. I could just imagine. I look at my dad. My dad can't even remember to wipe his ass sometimes. He's only 83. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
But
80
that's-
is old as shit.
That's the thing, though. Like
Which
I'm
my
happy
grandma
Harrison
lived to be
Ford is coming-
96, so I can't really say too much. And she was still hella active. So, I mean,
I think Harrison Ford coming back is nice. I think they're just trying to keep him busy because he is a very impatient man. Like obviously since he's doing this Red Hulk thing for the Hulk movies, now that they're making Hulk movies and all this shit, I think it opens a bigger door for Harrison Ford. I'm happy for Harrison Ford. I'm going to root him on because he is
what's
Han
going on,
Solo.
Clint?
So
My bad.
what up, Clint? But that's just it. Like
I
it
don't know.
don't matter.
I just-
It don't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Like I would love Keanu as Revan. I would love Harrison Ford to come back as Han Solo for something stupid, even if it was just a small cameo bit as a voice actor. I don't care. But leave that sequel shit alone. Don't come near it. You already ruined it to a
they're
point.
going to play off the sequels. Y'all have to know that sooner or later they're going to come out with something that has to do with the sequels.
And I won't watch it because
I
I
will.
did not
I mean, I like
enjoy
the
it.
sequels. They sucked, but they weren't that damn bad. I mean, I
You
watched
had
worse.
you had the original cast come in, and okay, Harrison Ford's kill, I liked it. It was a good way to send him off. It was what he wanted. I'm okay with that. It was a good way to do that movie. The Force Awakens wasn't bad. And then you just bent bent over fucking Mark Hamill and fucked him in the ass with the way you killed him. You literally screwed him. You literally fucked him raw. I'm sorry, I'm saying it.
No Vaseline.
Yeah. Thank you, Ice Cube. You literally killed his character in the weakest way possible, even though he is one of the strongest Jedi in Jedi history. And you did him dirty. And then Carrie Fisher passes, and you did the whole space scene, which is terrible of you. Do not touch any of this shit. Leave it alone. Erase it. Give us.
You know they're
other
gonna, but you know
stories.
that they're gonna come to.
Yeah, and it'll be hell. And it'll suck.
It might not
unless
suck.
it
It might be
Dave's in
because
charge.
we talked about it. If they made a movie that had to do with Rey going out into the galaxy and was solving problems and fighting off bad guys and doing the stuff that she does as being that equal part, you know what I'm saying? She's not going to claim herself as a Jedi. She's going to go out and do that, use the Force. If she got to pull from the dark side,
Bodhi,
electrocute
you wanna
somebody,
start
she
an argument?
does.
Is this what's
if
going
she's
on?
sword fighting, she does, or whatever happens. And it would be like if they did a good story about it, it would be a good movie.
Hey, Bodhi,
It
what
would
do you mean was a good death? The only good death was Harrison Ford's death.
I don't know. Carrie Fisher's death was good. Or
Okay.
Princess Leia, she was old
Well,
as
that's the
shit,
thing.
and
you
she
could've
gave her
made that
life
story.
to save her son. That was a good death.
But you
The
also
only
could've
person that
killed
they
her-
really screwed over was Mark Hamill. They screwed him over.
because
Luke
you
got screwed
can't
over.
pull yourself out of the vacuum of space.
Sequels suck. Okay, that's the end of the story.
You
End of
can't
discussion.
pull yourself out of the vacuum of space. You and I have talked about this. We've
Yes,
all
I know
three
that.
talked
That
about
was
this.
stupid, but I mean, her actual death was not bad.
Yes, you should have at least if
I'm
you're going to
sorry.
do that vacuum of space thing, you should have killed her there.
Yeah, but
Yeah, her
they did it. That
surviving
shit
the
was
vacuum
stupid.
of space
We
just
all
to
agree that
die?
everything that happened in
That
The
was
Last
fucking
Jedi
stupid.
was just dumb as shit. The whole movie just had a bunch of dumb shit. But the way that she died in the Rise of Skywalker was not bad. She gave her last bit of force, her last bit of energy to pull her son back to the dark side. That's an honorable death.
Yeah,
That's
but
not a
you
bad
could've
death.
left- you
She's
could've-
not like, you got to understand, Princess Leia, since the very beginning, after the New Hope, she didn't do a bunch of shit. Like, she was just like a stand-in character. She was there to be the senator, to be
Don't
Princess
you dare
Leia,
disrespect
to be the
our
general.
princess.
She was not meant to go out in a blaze of glory and be fighting with a lightsaber. She was not meant to ever do that. That was not her character. She fought with heart and hope and direction. That's the way she fought. The stuff that she told Poe. And then, you know, you work, come together, you do this. That's how the rebellion is formed. That's how you got passed. She wasn't ever meant to go out in a blaze of glory. She wasn't meant to go out like that.
I agree.
That's her character. That's what made her so great, because she wasn't that. She didn't like. It would have pissed me off if they turned her into a real Jedi and she was out fighting with a lightsaber. I'd have been like, "What the fuck?"
She's the type that she will do whatever needs to be done, whether it makes her look amazing or whether it makes her behind the scenes. She's willing to sacrifice the fame, the fortune, and for the greater cause. So I think, Kyle, that's actually a great point.
The way she died was excellent. The only person that they really screwed over was Luke. They screwed Luke over with that.
I still don't like her death. It was stupid.
I don't either. And
to give up her last bit of force ability, she was old. She knew she was dying already.
Yeah, but why does that make Ben change the dark side, or change back to the light side? That was just dumb.
It was all of it together. You got to understand, when Rey stabbed Kylo and she healed him, that was the first part of it. That was the first part. And then when Leia, she sent that love through the Force to him, her last bit of to reach out to her son, that was the second part. Him having to realize that he killed his father, that Rey healed him, and she didn't have to. She could have left him there to die. She healed him. And then Leia pushing that last bit of Force love to him, using the Force to send her life force to him. He realizing that she is dead. Both of his parents is dead. And everything that he has been doing is just been wrong. His love for Rey, that's what pushed him. The whole point of that was about love. It was a parent's love, the love from other people. That's the whole point of that. And that's what they brought together, and that's what it took, all of that to get him to convert back to becoming Ben and leaving Kylo Ren. So it all made sense. That's why I'm saying The Last Skywalker wasn't that bad. Now, the Palpatine shit, that shit was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really bringing Palpatine back? Jesus Christ, how many times they got to kill this guy? You know what I'm saying? That shit was dumb. But what they were trying to project in the film was that love conquers all. Love, because it went from hope. The original trilogy was about hope. The prequel trilogy was about how things can be corrupted, even love can be corrupted, and how, good people can be doing bad things and not realize it because they think they're doing it for the greater good. And then the sequel trilogy is how love, in the end, will conquer everything. Love is what's going to hold the galaxy together. The love for each other, the love for your friends, the love for your parents, the love for everything. That's what's going to control and keep the galaxy together. See, each trilogy was based on a scenario. And that scenario was hope, love, and sacrifice. The first one was sacrifice, because everybody was willing to sacrifice anything to save the Republic, even though they were fighting against themselves. So it was like a giant sacrifice. Everybody was sacrificing to do all this stuff, and it ended up causing them to all die. The original was about hope, how hope can conquer a great foe. And then the sequel trilogy was about how love will conquer. Everybody coming together. Rey started loving Finn and Poe, and you have C-3PO loving R2 and happy that R2's back. How R2 loved C-3PO and gave him back his memories, and he could become, and the love that C-3PO had when he had to get everything had to do with love and friendship and all that. And that's what the basis of the movies were on. They just didn't do a good job projecting it. They did it in small little parts of the movie instead of making that. We knew that the New Hope, it was called New Hope. It was about hope. And then we knew that Empire was about hope. It's the middle story. And then we knew Return of the Jedi was the hope that was going to bring them together. That's all it was about. And that's where you have to remember. If you understand the underlying meanings of what it is, the movies ain't that bad. They suck. They got some terrible shit and some very bad directing choices and writing choices, but they're not that bad. They're just not great neither. They're not regular Star Wars. That's why everybody's like, dude, this shit sucks. But at the same time, they're going, that Disney's gonna, they got to redeem themselves off that. And the only way they're going to be able to redeem that shit is to have Rey go out and do some amazing shit. And Poe got to be there. We know that Finn's not going to be there unless they get another character to play him. So, because John Boyega's not coming back. So that's where we're at. But you know that they're not gonna let that shit just die. I think right now they kind of just letting everything die down because how bad and they didn't even get really that bad of a report on them. A lot of young people really love the sequel trilogy. They just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that Luke Skywalker got took out like a punk. They don't understand that, dude, it doesn't work like that. Jedis can't fly. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand none of that shit. So without understanding that, of course, it's a good movie to them. When you look at it through, just the actual movie, it's like, oh, yeah, that's great. Oh, man, they're flying force shit, lightsabers, blah. You know what I'm saying? They like that.
Blah.
You know what I'm saying? Because my daughters love the 3 sequels, and I'm sitting there looking at them like, what the fuck are y'all doing? This shit is garbage, man. I can't, oh, man, this is bad. But they're really not that bad when you watch them. I'm not going to sit back and kill them totally, because they're not that bad. They're just not good either. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you took Star Wars and made 3 B movies and said, here you go. You know what I'm saying? That's a sequel trilogy. That's basically what it is. But it's like, what I'm saying, watching, 13, 15, how many of the Friday the 13th is there now? About 100. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, way too many.
After 4, they ain't good no more. They were just terrible, but you still watch them because it's like, oh, Jason's killing some people. These people are idiots. Why do you run up the stairs? You know what I'm saying? Why did you run up the stairs? Why is this dude walking can catch you? You know what I'm saying? You guys suck.
Same with Halloween, dude. They keep remaking that too.
Whoa. Back off.
Are you serious right now?
They just ended it. They just ended the story.
I know.
Yeah, they
Thank
say
God
they ended it. And then until the next one comes out. The last 15 of them, they said it was the end.
Okay, so that's the thing. You had John Carpenter's version, and then you had Rob Zombie's version. You had 2 separate actors telling 2 separate stories. John Carpenter's was the original, and then you had Rob Zombie do his own shit. You can't.
They were all garbage. The original Halloween sucked. It was terrible.
You know what? Fucking pound sand.
Like, that shit is terrible. Like, y'all can't throw this dude in some acid. You know what I'm saying? Do something. Why have you been running for 3 hours and this dude caught you in 4 seconds? And he's walking. Like, how does that happen? It's possible.
Why can nobody fight back against him? Like,
I'm not getting into this.
But, all right. Let's get to, you got a what if for us today before we go to the what if?
I do.
All right, let's go to the what if.
I got you. Give me 1 second. All right, ready?
It only takes one decision to decide the direction of the galaxy. A decision that will influence the outcome. But if that decision went the other way, reality as we know it would change forever. The galaxy would be on a different course. Things that have happened would cease to exist. A new narrative would be etched into creation. So we are going to analyze those other possibilities when we ask, what if?
Okay. What if? Ready? What if Padme faked her death? Instead of her dying in childbirth, she had the children and left.
Like, do they still take the kids?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, either way.
So
she either pawns the kids off. No, that's up to you. That ain't up to me. I ain't telling you what I'm thinking.
All right.
But what if
Padme survived and just went into hiding for all this time? I think it would have been exactly the same because they would have thought she was dead, and Anakin would have turned into just completely went all Vadered out, and then it would have been exactly the same. And Luke and Leia would have been, if they were sent off to like go stay with. I don't think her being alive would have made any difference because wouldn't nobody know if she faked her death because she'd be in hiding. I don't think it would have changed too much. Now, if she takes the kids and they don't go to, I think it might have been different. I don't think that they would have ever got the experiences that they needed to be able to pull off the rebellion and pull off the overthrow of the Jedi or overthrow of the Empire.
Let's say she takes the kids. And yes, Obi-Wan would follow her and the kids for protection.
So if Obi-Wan went with them,
Yes.
I think Obi-Wan would have started banging Padme, and they'd have had more little Force-sensitive babies, and then they'd have just created a whole puppy version of the Jedi, and just conquered the whole galaxy and took back over and it would have been way easier with like 15 Jedi kids. They wouldn't have had to fight so hard, and I think Obi-Wan would have just stood there and let Vader just slice them up because he'd have had a shit ton of kids with Padme. That's what I think would have happened. Because I know I would have been banging Padme if I was Obi-Wan and we was off on some freaking, I just had to watch. Because you got to think about it. Padme and him just sitting there, right? They're watching Luke and Leia, and they're spending all this time together.
Oh, they're fucking.
Yeah, they're fucking. Yeah. So, they're having a baby. Now you got 3 Force-sensitive babies. And then they're going to keep fucking because, he's not supposed to be a Jedi. They're in hiding. He gave up his Jedi ways. So then they're going to have 3 or 4 more babies. Now you got 5 little Jedi younglings, and then he trains them all on how to use the Force, and they're all super dope. And then they're like, except Luke and Leia are like the super dope ones, and they're the older brother and sister. So, older brothers and sisters are real protective of their little brothers and sisters. Vader kills one of them, and they just take their pops out. That's what I think happens.
What about you, Garrison?
I would think if she faked her death, she would have joined the rebellion, and she'd be like a lead person in the rebellion with like Leia and stuff. Like she probably would have moved to Alderaan or something. Luke would have been like, yeah, I feel like it would have been a little bit more organized of rebellion. I feel like Padme would have been like a big part of the rebellion with Alderaan.
And they all got killed on Alderaan when Vader blew up the thing.
Honestly, maybe.
And he just felt his wife and his kids die at the same time. And he get real mad at Palpatine and just chops Palpatine's ass up. But he don't care that he's going to die because he finds out the truth. I don't know. It could go a lot of different ways.
Well, it's also
I think Padme flees to Naboo. Or not Naboo. Tatooine. With the kids. And goes to Anakin's family. What's the one thing Anakin's not going to do?
Go to sand. But he does go back to Tatooine. It's in the comic books.
Yes.
And it's in the books. And I think it's in them. So
goes back to Tatooine and raises the kids with Obi-Wan's protection. Whether they bump uglies or not is not my concern.
It's not my concern.
You know that's gonna happen.
You got Mommy Padme and Daddy Wan Kenobi. Shit's gonna happen. But
what if Padme just like is so heartbroken that Anakin turned to the dark side? She knows he's Vader, and she fears that the kids is gonna turn like their dad, and she shoots both of them in the face with her blaster. In fear.
That's dark.
Hey, it could happen. No? That's like if you know your kid, like your whole family has cancer, and then you get pregnant, and then you know your kid might have cancer, you just take it out so they don't ever have to deal with that shit.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, shit, that shit happened. I just read an article about that shit. Some woman killed 2 of her kids because her whole family, everybody in her family caught cancer. And she had cancer, so she was scared her kids was going to get cancer and shot both of them.
That's dark.
Now she's going to prison for like 150 million years. I think they should. That's one. I think if you do anything to a kid, you should get the death penalty. I think that's the only time that the death penalty should be invoked. If it has to do with a kid. You molest a kid, death penalty. You know what I'm saying? You kill a kid, death penalty. You walk into a school, you shoot 15 kids, death penalty. You shoot 1 kid, death penalty. Just right off the bat. And don't wait 25, 30 years to do it.
That's why I like Texas. Texas gives you 7 years to figure your shit out, whether you're guilty or not. You got 7 years, and I think that's too long. You got 7 years. And on that year, on the 7th year, they count down your days, and then they kill you.
I don't even think it should be 7 years. I think it should be about 7 minutes. As soon as
No,
they say
look,
guilty,
but-
take your ass outside and hang your ass.
That's the thing. Okay,
Put
well,
your
hold
ass
on,
in front
though.
of a firing squad or something.
That's the thing. If you were convicted but you weren't guilty, you're going to die for somebody else committing a crime. If you can prove your innocence, I'm going to pull this up. If you can prove your innocence, or people can help you, and a good team can get it together, because there's a show about this where they go in and they try to make sure people that are on death row. I think you should have at least
That's what
instead of 7 years. I give it 4. You get 4 years to figure your shit out.
That dude that's from that dude, he's been on Joe Rogan. He's part of the I can't remember the name of it. It's like the protection or some guilty. I can't remember the name. And that's also what what's her face is doing, because they done got like 6-7 people. I found out that they were not guilty.
That's
I just look at it like this.
You should have enough time to do that.
There's an old saying,
fool me once, shame on. I'm just kidding.
there's an old saying: kill them all, let God figure it out. You know what I'm saying? God knows what's going on. Kill everybody. Just kill if you're a criminal, kill your ass. Gotta figure out if you did it or not. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my biggest thing. You get instead of 7, you get 4. You got 4 years to get this put together, figured out.
There's some people that's been in prison for like 20 years, man. You know, and then they just now getting released. That one dude, he was in prison for 20 years.
Yeah, and then there was another one that was like almost 32 years.
Yeah, and then they find out this person wasn't guilty this whole time. I mean, so they could go a long period of time and then they figure it out. But I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter.
Shawshank Redemption? Like,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, my thing is this. We as American people, just regular American people, we go to work, we pay taxes. Our taxes go to house this person for 25 years before 30 years before they give them the death penalty.
Which is crazy.
Just get it over with. If they were innocent, we're sorry. God will figure it out. You'll be okay.
If it's not, well, and that's the thing. That's the thing with that though. Like if your trial was if your trial was janky, right? You know you're innocent. Like if you have we were watching On Court Camp. This guy had 40 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor. 40 counts. You should have been shot right there in the goddamn courtroom. I'm sorry. You got caught 40 times? In a 20-year span, 40 times, and now you're getting sentenced to 121 years. No, motherfucker, put a round in his head in the back patio. Call it a good day.
Yeah, that's why. Hey, I'm sorry.
I don't want to pay taxes to feed that man.
I'm sorry, and it's crazy anyway because you know they're overcharging. Like, dude, they say it costs $75, or I think the last one was like $72,000 a year to take care of an inmate in a prison. I've been in jail before. They ain't give me no $72,000. They only take $72,000 to take care of me outside of the prison. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take $72,000 to raise a whole family a year. And that's what they're talking about per inmate. So you know they pocketed a bunch of their money.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. We gotta go back to the chat because I was looking at something that Lindy said. Teach Luke and Leia to join the rebellion, cause the rebellion to started without any Jedi. It was the citizens who were fed up with the Empire. That could be one of the things. Chris said, "Goddamn, Kyle," when I said to just kill everybody. Lenny says, then they, as a family, join the rebellion, and Luke and Leia, as Jedis, fight Darth Vader and find out that Vader is their father. What would they do? Join their father or stay?
They'd kill him.
That's a good question.
I think
they would kill him. I think they would love their mom more.
Because of mom. I think with mom raising them for all that time, I think they'd kill him because of the fact that
they're all gonna have daddy.
You know, Padme,
all she's gonna have to say is, "Your dad force choked me one time." Oh, really? Huh? As a son? Shit, you about to go kill his ass? He force choked you? Really? Oh yeah, he getting it.
As much as I and my mom and I don't get along, you don't fuck with my mom. Like we could be arguing, we could be hating on each other. But the second you are family and you outside and you like hurt my mom, you better fucking run. You better know how to run quick. You better know how to serpentine real well because I'm either going to put a round in you or something's going to happen. I don't play with that game. Like I said, my mom and I don't get along very well, but that's still my mom at the end of the day. And I think that's how Luke would be too. He's like, that's my mama. You know, he looked like he's probably a big ass mama's boy too. Like if mom was still his mom, like if Padme was still alive, he'd be a big ass mama's boy.
And then Leia's gonna stick up for her brother because sisters are really overprotective of their brothers for some reason.
Yeah.
So
I see that. I didn't have sisters, but I see how Phoenix is with Cass. This kid smacked Cass at school the other day, and Phoenix went up and just shoved her. And I was like, I just got there to pick them up, and I'm watching this, and I'm standing and I'm looking in the window, and I'm like watching Phoenix stand over this girl, and I'm like, I should intervene, but I want to see how far this goes. I don't know why. Like, I had two older brothers and one little brother. Like I protected my little brother. I've always been my little brother's protector, but like for some reason, older sisters have such a like protection instinct when it comes to that I feel like Leia, like a second Luke like got hit with a lightsaber or got like thrown into something, you would see a whole nother
dad.
you would see a whole nother side of Leia if Luke got hurt right in front of her.
All right, let's get to some news and rumors because Garrison got to go. We got like 30 minutes, so let's get through this.
Let's get it.
Oh shit.
The Alternate News and Rumors.
All right, dude,
So the only things that I had was, and I talked about one of them earlier, that Tales of the Jedi got a perfect Rotten Tomato score.
Okay, I have one thing. Our Hayden Christensen got a lovely Saturn Award for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
A lovely what award?
Saturn Award.
What the hell is that?
I ain't never even heard of that shit, so it doesn't. I don't care.
Hayden Christensen
I don't know what
wins
the
a Saturn
Award
Award.
even is.
I don't know what a Saturn Award is, but they brought him in just for that.
I mean, that's cool and everything, but I don't know what it is. So
Well, he deserves an award either way. Welcome back, Hayden Christensen, to the movie industry. Not the
it's
point.
like Academy of Science Fiction.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And he was the top most voted person to get one.
He did play Vader good.
Yeah.
Vader was the best part of the whole damn series.
Loungefly is giving us more backpacks, Star Wars inspired backpacks throughout the holiday season, but they're also giving us main character inspired backpacks. They're giving us a Wrecker backpack.
Oh, Wrecker would be cool.
Yeah, it looks dope.
I would take a Wrecker backpack. Hell yeah.
Go down. We are also getting more toys for Jedi Survivor. We got the new look of Cal Kestis. He's kind of got this fuckboy haircut. But it looks cool. I like it. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Hasbro's boxes right now. They're still sticking to that box. We're getting... So they've been giving us a lot of these comic book character iconic moments stuff. Like we got Black Chrysanthemum, we've gotten a few Stormtroopers. We're getting Dr. Aphra and Mara Jade as Black Series figures. And Mara Jade will be looking fine in this cartoon.
I'm telling you, they should bring Mara Jade into canon and let what's her face play her.
Bryce
Dallas Howard.
Oh yeah.
They should let her be Mara Jade. That would be dope.
We are also getting a lot of Knights of the Old Republic action figures. They're called Gaming Greats. Hasbro Black Series figures. We're getting Darth Malik.
So now Malik's part of canon. Well, I guess he would already be if they brought Revan in.
Yeah, because he's part of the Revan story. And we're getting a Bastilla Shan. She's from Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. She's dope.
Yeah.
You watch the little CV, the little YouTube series, she smashes that dude into that brick wall. Or to that mountainside and just crushes him with the force. That should be dope.
lot of people have been complaining about the Galaxy's Edge lightsabers.
Because they're garbage.
So Hasbro is coming out with a huge ass line of lightsabers. Their Force FX lightsabers are 30 times better than Disneyland's. Bull crap. And we're the first one they're dropping in this new line. There's going to be like at least 14 lightsaber drops with.
Hey, the same people that make the same kids that make iPhones is who's making the Disney lightsabers.
Yes,
a thing of rice a week. 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds.
The first drop they're giving us through this beautiful Force FX Elite lightsabers through Black Series in Hasbro is Luke Skywalker. We're getting Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
I want Dooku's lightsaber.
That is coming down the pipeline. That is supposed to be next, is Count Dooku's lightsaber.
I didn't
And
really
they're
like
going
it
to be
before
going
until
from
I seen Tales of the Jedi. The way he's holding it and the way the handle hooks around, I'm like, dude, I want
Oh,
that.
And that is all I've got. Let me see if he's updated anything more, because he's been... Yak Face is where I get all my Hasbro news, because he goes to the cons and stuff, and he gets the
good information.
the great information. We're getting another Ahsoka toy. We're getting the the Grievous Night Guards. We're getting more Clone Troopers. I'm always game for that. And we're getting the new line of Bad Batch toys, as in their new updated colors, which fucking sucks because I haven't even finished my first collection of Bad Batch. Now I have to go back in and get the second series of it. We're getting Cad Bane and more Imperial officers. But I am excited for the Dr. Aphra toy. It looks great. We're getting
I wasn't really a big fan of the Afros. I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of her.
Yeah.
I think
they're really, really
in all
targeting
honesty,
the gaming greats, though.
In all honesty, Vader would have killed her like in the first comic book because she's a smart ass. Like she wouldn't have got away with a lot of stuff that she did.
Yeah, no, but the gaming greats, they're really dropping it. I wish they would go back to what they had box wise, because I don't like guessing whether or not my toy is okay in the box or not anymore. I didn't like that. I went and bought a figure the other day that was in these new box styles, and I don't like it. It is very sketchy. I mean, the figure came out great, but it was still like, it's still that fear of, hey, I just dropped $30 on this action figure. Is it going to be together when I open the box and put it up with the collection, or is it going to be a problem? Is it going to be broken? Am I going to have to call and sit on the phone for 4 hours with Hasbro and get something figured out? But that's my opinion. That's all I've got was Hayden Christensen and all these new Black Series stuff that's coming out.
There's a Star Wars event calendar that's coming out. It does the 25 days before Christmas, and each day you get like different things that you pull out of this calendar. And it looks pretty cool. Over the course of 25 days leading up to Christmas, you will find more than 30 exclusive Star Wars themed trinkets that will have you feeling the Force. From paper ornaments to greeting cards to buttons to booklets and recipes. That was one of the things I thought that was kind of cool. 25 days till Christmas, little calendar of Star Wars base. And then something that we're going to show right quick. Star Wars Andor has a new commercial. And the commercial has some things that are based in that we've already seen, but there's a couple new little tidbits in there that I thought was kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and play it right now, and we will see what is going on with the new little thing. And this shit was hard as hell to find, man. I seen it. It was on Reddit. It was on Star Wars Leaks Reddit, but it was hard as shit to find this damn thing. So the one I got is decent, but it's not great. So, but bear with us. We'll just watch it.
It's official. The groundbreaking series everyone is talking about is being hailed by critics as the best Star Wars series yet.
It's all gonna be different now.
Listen up. The 49 men in this room answer to me. You're mine now.
Andor is exciting new territory.
Smile.
So right there, that's something that we haven't seen before. When she tells him to smile. I thought it was in the 7th episode,
Yeah,
but as I went back,
saw that.
it doesn't say. She never says smile in there. They're just talking. She doesn't say smile. So that got to be That got to be a new scene.
It's expansive and ambitious.
This is what revolution looks like.
We haven't seen that.
Yeah,
We haven't seen that either.
We haven't seen them escaping, because they're escaping right now. They're all running. But I'm looking like they still got bare feet, so why don't they just turn on the electric and just shock the shit out of all of them, and they all just drop?
Maybe the power went out.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
what I'm thinking. Somehow they had to deactivate that shit. Because that's the only way they're all... And it's all of them.
We've chosen a...
We haven't seen that
We haven't seen that either.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's a. Okay, wait.
Yeah, we haven't seen the
We
riot.
haven't seen this. We haven't seen
Who the hell
Mom
is
Ozma talking to old girl. That's old girl. That's the girl that he was with when they did the little when they
She's
robbed
got
the
face
Empire.
paint though. That's what's throwing me off.
No, I think that's just a video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
Cause
was
look,
like,
there's
she got some
blue
face
all over
paint.
that shit. I
Kyle's
think
got
that's just.
face paint on. He would know.
Shut up. We haven't
Chosen
seen that.
side.
We haven't seen that.
Oh, damn. That looks good.
I love the riot squad.
Go back. Come on. Get right there. Get it. What the hell going on? Why did it skip the whole damn part?
Oh, that looks
Oh, whoa! I haven't seen that either.
So the riot squad we haven't seen. We've seen the droid.
You won't want.
We haven't. Damn, man, why I'm just sucking at stopping. So whatever's going on right here, I think the riot squad is coming. I think the people of that town are rebelling against the Empire there at this point
something.
and trying to get Bix out. I think that's what they're trying to do. Because you know how the Empire took Bix in the last episode?
Oh, yeah.
They're about to interrogate her. I think the town is going to go and try to get Bix out because she's a major person in that town. And I think Andor's stepmommy or whatever she is, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Mommy.
I think she's going to be the one leading this little rebellion thing. I think it's going to be her and that other guy that put the rope around or the wire around that ship. His Andor's other friend that lied for him.
Won't want to miss what comes next.
They're afraid. Right now.
So we haven't seen this. Him talking about they're afraid of us right now. Talking to Celix or whatever, however you say his name.
Yeah, I still love Andy Serkis though. God, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Circus. But right there, you see that they're talking, and Andor says they're scared of us right now. So I think this is going to be. I think he's going to join up with Andor and help with the escape because he got the little influence to turn on the little thing inside that thing.
I think it's because he's been so brainwashed because he's been in prison for so long.
Stockholm syndrome.
You know what I mean? And so now
no.
he's like, no, listen, like we can do this.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is that they add more time to his shit. Because remember how that other dude got all that time added to his shit in the last episode?
Yeah.
I think they added some, because he said he only had like 296 days left. I think they add time to his shit. And he's like, screw it. We got to get the hell out of here. They're never going to let us out.
Good point.
They're afraid. We'll never have a better chance.
Star Wars Andor.
We haven't seen that.
That looks dope.
K2.
We haven't seen them blowing up both satellites.
Star Wars
Whatever it
Andor. New episodes streaming Wednesdays.
If that's
So
a big Death
that's-
Star gun, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, that looks, so just from seeing that looks pretty good. Where's the stop sharing button at?
If that's a big Death Star gun, I'm gonna be mad though.
No, I think that's just a satellite that can.
Yeah,
control
so I think it's something. I think that's how they take the power out.
Okay.
I think they have something to do with them escaping. And then the last bit of news that I had, I guess Jon Favreau in the interview possibly teased, this is kind of a rumor because it's possibly teased, that one of the skeleton crew characters will be in The Mandalorian in season 3.
Ooh, is it Jude Law? Is it going to be
don't know.
Jude Law? I hope it's Jude Law. I would love to see
They
him
don't
in
say who
fucking
it's going to
Mando.
be, but he doesn't say. He just said John. I guess John said there might be somebody from Skeleton Crew in the new Mandalorian season 3. So we might get to see somebody from Skeleton Crew, and that's all I had. That's it. That's all I had. What do you got? Anything, Garrison?
Nah, dude. I got nothing.
He said, "No, I ain't got shit."
Sorry.
All right, well, let's get to the. Let's go ahead on and get over to the impossible quiz, and we'll knock that out, and then Garrison can leave.
All right.
We might stay here and just talk. I got to get out there.
I don't know, man. I got to get off. I got counseling.
Hey, you look like you got counseling.
I don't know. Kyle's the one that looks like.
Stop right there, you rebel scum. Prepare yourself for the Star Wars Impossible quiz. Blast them.
Yeah, I had to cut you off before you talk about I need counseling. I lost a bet, damn it. For everybody just joined in or hasn't watched this yet, because I know we're going to get thousands to watch after, I lost a bet. And I had to wear a dress and makeup.
Oh, before we do this quiz, I got to share my 2 stories.
Oh,
Actually, just share one, because we only got 15 minutes till Garrison got to leave.
Well, I think the most embarrassing thing was the night I lost my virginity.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you couldn't get it up?
No. So I was 13. We were at a football game. This girl was about 16. She lived in the apartments right next door to the high school. And we're having fun. We're rolling around. And she's like, oh, let's go back to my apartment. We go back to her parents' apartment. We don't go into the right apartment. We went into her neighbor's apartment. Okay.
How?
So the back door, so her backsliding door is unlocked. I guess the neighbor's was too, and she missed the apartment. We go in, we do the deed on the couch. I get up to go get water. I turn the kitchen light on. I realize this is a Mexican's household. This is a Hispanic family household. There are Hispanic family photos and the Catholic. There's Catholic stuff everywhere.
I think she knew about it.
No, she didn't. So no, listen to this.
Yeah, how did she not know?
We weren't paying attention. When you're a fucking teenager and you're horny, you don't pay attention. So we go in, I go in to get water. I realize what's going on. She went to the bathroom, and I think that's when she caught it. Well, I grabbed my clothes and I book it.
You left her?
I left her ass in there. The family came home not even 10 minutes later, and she was arrested for B&E and nudity. Yeah.
Oh God. That's pretty embarrassing. That's pretty fucking
and
embarrassing.
Then this
it would
one,
have been more embarrassing if you got arrested too.
Oh, I almost was. I actually, cops showed up to the house and were questioning my father on my whereabouts because she threw me under a fucking bus. And my dad lied for me and said I was in the house all day because I was grounded. So, so in the second one, Cassian, I got to show this one. Cassian wakes up in the middle of the night, sneaks out, and goes down the stairs and across the street. He's 1. Wow. Well, the dog, our black lab, starts losing his mind. He's barking and barking, and I get up and I'm pissed off. I'm like, what the fuck is your issue? I check the camera. The front door is wide open. I don't know what time it is. I didn't even check the time. So I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, Tori's probably home. She works at a bar. She closes the bar down. No, I check the kids' room and my son's out of bed. I get up. I'm buck ass naked because we sleep naked. I'm buck ass naked. I run outside buck ass naked. My son is across the street under the stairwell.
You just run around with this kid butt naked. You better be glad you didn't get arrested.
No, I had
butt
to go.
naked guys running with this kid.
So
we know something bad's happening.
So the dog, the blue heeler right here, she went out with him, but she left his ass alone. And he's under a stairwell crying. I ran across the street naked. I can see neighbors in the window because they can hear him crying under the stairwell. I'm running naked trying to get back inside. I was like, fuck the dog. She'll be fine. I got to get this kid inside.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Jeez,
all right.
I thought I'd share too.
I think that's worse than me wearing a dress with makeup on the show.
Yeah.
Running across the street butt naked. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
To pick up my 1-year-old son that's in a pull-up sitting in like.
I'd have shot your ass. I'd have been like, look at this molester out here trying to get this kid. He's naked. Pow!
That's a good point.
He was fine. Like, he didn't seem scared. He wasn't like crying real bad. Like, he was just crying because he didn't know what he couldn't get. He was trying to open the neighbor's door because he thought that's where we lived.
Wow.
I love him to death. I love my son. He's
you're
something
gonna have to put a shackle on his ankle and shit.
No, I
shackle him to the
deadbolt
bed so he don't
that's
do
the
that shit
thing.
again.
We didn't deadbolt the door. I fell asleep. I put the kids down and I went to bed and I completely forgot to deadbolt.
I let the dog out and I got my door automatically shuts. I got one of them shutting spring hinges. The door automatically shuts. I fall asleep on the couch. The whole time the door is just unlocked and open. It's like crack. Because it won't shut all the way. It'll just go back to where it's closed. But it doesn't link in unless he really hits it hard and knocks it open. So I'm asleep the whole time. Front door is just wide open. Anybody could have just walked in. I'm just knocked out. Okay.
It was just one of those. I think the girl getting arrested for B&E and nudity was fucking probably priceless for me.
Dude,
Okay.
that's a hilarious story.
I lost my
I think
virginity.
That's the best virginity story I've ever heard.
Yeah, that
I
me
lost
too.
my virginity, and the girl I lost it to got arrested for B&E. So, I mean, I felt bad for her. I mean,
I
she
can't
would
even
never.
remember
she
when I
never
lost
talked.
my virginity. It's been a
She
long.
never talked to you again.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She didn't. Oh man, I remember seeing her doing the community service on the side of the road, and I felt so bad. I was like, I want to get out and help, but I just know she'll probably stab me with that pokey thing that they picked up the trash.
All right, let's get to the quiz.
She'll stab me with the pokey.
Question number 1. What is an Ewok's one problem when they're flying them hang glider things that they be flying in?
They can't steer.
Nope.
They can't fly higher. It just glides down.
The trees.
Nope.
Oh, trees, yeah. That's probably good.
The number
The
one
trees.
problem is a blue and gold condor dragon will snatch their ass out the air.
That's dope. Oh my god, that's so dope.
Oh yeah, when I read that, I was like, "Oh shit, that sucks."
Just imagine being that Ewok that survived that and what happened to you. Fucking condor
Yeah,
dragon,
those
man.
things are creepy. I just googled like condor dragon Star Wars. Those things are scary looking motherfuckers.
Yeah. Okay, question number 2. Why did the Trade Federation use battle droids that had humanoid physiques? Why did the battle droids look like humans? Why didn't they design them like the roller droids and design
So when they
droids
took
like
over planets, they'd look friendlier.
That? Nope.
So they could step over things. You know, wheels can get jammed and stuff. These things can walk.
Nope. They were able to operate existing machinery, vehicles, and weapons.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Okay. What made Emperor Palpatine's throne room so unique in the second Death Star?
It had a window.
Yeah,
That's kind of right. That's kind of right.
I had a view of the planets they were destroying.
The correct answer is the viewport had enhanced magnification scanners built into them.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So he could like see shit like way
It's like
better.
a
So just
telescope.
imagine Luke looking out the window and seeing all of his homies getting destroyed. And he just sitting there and it's like all up close, like 'cause it's all magnified. Like,
flat-screen
damn, I
TV,
and this shit's
telescope.
happening super far away.
That's
And he's
dope.
like, dude, it would be way worse. Okay. Question number 4. I know I'm kind of going fast, but that's because Garrison got to leave. Maz had her castle built on a very unique place. What made that location so special?
It was a Jedi temple.
Nope.
It was a swamp.
It was a swamp.
Beautiful lake. What are you talking about?
They bought Shrek's swamp and they were able to build
Converted it.
Yeah.
Okay. It was an ancient battleground of the Jedi and Sith. An ancient Jedi and Sith war was fought where she built her
At that
castle.
very swamp. After Shrek.
Okay. Question number 5. On what planet did Anakin Skywalker meet Thrawn for the very first time?
Oh, this was in the book.
Mustafar.
No.
Tatooine.
Did you say Tatooine?
Yeah.
No.
Of course not. Trick question. They didn't meet on a planet.
Alderaan.
Nope.
I can't think of it then. Like
He
Alderaan.
met him for
Aurelia.
he met Commander Thrawn, because at this point he
Aurelia.
was still part of the Thrawn Ascendancy
Andor.
on Batu.
That too.
Yep, on Batu, however you say that shit.
Oh, sweet. So I got it.
You said that shit after I said it. You can't come to that shit. What is the main difference between the Death Star? What is the main differences between the Death Star and Starkiller Base?
Starkiller Base was a planet, and the Death Star
Yeah.
was a machine.
Starkiller Base was a bad ripoff. Death Star was the original.
Okay. Starkiller Base did not need to move to hit its targets. And the second thing is it drained
drained
the
sun.
power of a sun to charge itself. It wasn't
Yeah.
based off of holocrons. Or not holocrons, but kyber crystals. Can you just imagine how big that damn kyber crystal, I mean, that was in the Death Star? Like, there was like that thing had to be huge, or a whole bunch of little ones. Either way, it was a lot of them, and we know that because that's the whole basis of Rogue One. Maz's Castle Cantina had one cardinal rule where while you were there. Okay, wait, let me reset. No
fighting.
Okay, Maz's Castle Cantina had one cardinal rule while you were there. And if you broke that rule, you were banned or put in the castle dungeon. What was that rule?
No fighting.
Yep, that was it. No fighting. Cannot fight on the premises. If you fight on the premises, you're out, or you go to the dungeon. We all knew that Luke Skywalker ran and hid on the planet Octo. Why did he choose that planet to hide?
Because it was in the Outer Rim.
Because there was no sand.
Because there was no sand. I don't think Luke's scared of sand.
Cliffs. I don't know. Maybe like Father Like Son.
Acto was the home of the very first Jedi temple ever built.
Oh yeah. You also need like a map with like two different droids working together to find it. So
yeah, you gotta have all kinds. Well, the problem, like when you read through it on the Ultimate Guide, one of the issues was that it was gone. Like it was like almost completely erased from history because nobody ever went there. It was all the Jedi just forgot about it. I don't know why, but they just forgot about it. Okay. Question number 9. What kind of blaster was issued to all standard battle droids?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
I swear to God, the
this from
Stormtroopers use it now.
No, the Stormtroopers don't use battle droid blasters.
They look the same.
They kind of do look the same, but I'm pretty sure
the
they're
Stormtroopers, the E11. Is it an E6? It's another E thing, right?
Yeah, it's another E thing. You're
It's
pretty
E9.
close.
E5 or 6?
It was the E5. E5 blaster,
Battlefront,
right?
baby!
Okay. Aurora Singh chose a special weapon to combat those that use lightsabers. What was the weapon she chose?
A bow staff.
No.
Like Napoleon Dynamite. She's pretty good with the bow staff, so never mind.
It was the Adventurer Slug Thrower rifle. Because it didn't shoot a blaster that could be blocked by a force user or couldn't be blocked by a lightsaber, and she could shoot it from 1,435 feet away, so it was far enough away that a Jedi or a Sith could not feel it coming. They couldn't sense it in the Force.
Feet.
And since she was a Jedi, she was a youngling or a Padawan at one time before she left the Jedi. She knew their capabilities, so that's why she chose that weapon.
Wait, 1,435 feet?
Yeah, 1,435 feet. So that's what?
How many yards is that?
Well, it's 100. There's 300 feet in 100 yards. So
that's like 500 yards.
That's like 500 yards away.
478.
Yeah, that's
yards.
So that was quite of a distance.
That's a shot, yeah.
So yeah, she could shoot somebody from that far away. It could shoot from that far away, so it'd be hard for them to detect. I mean, they detect evil coming, but it'd be too late. It'd be like like getting shot with a gun. Basically, when the big argument that Jedis can block bullets, no, they can't. They can block. I mean, they might be able to put up the lightsaber and the bullet melt in the lightsaber or something, but I don't know. You might still get hit with shrapnel. But that's the reason.
Because it's so far, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't be able to sense it in time. It'd be coming too fast because she's so far away. Jedi sense shit, from the Force.
Them.
But I mean, I still don't think that they would be able to stop it. That's why she chose that weapon, which, it didn't really matter because didn't Obi-Wan kill Aurora Singh?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the Clone Wars. Okay. So, yeah, that was a fun episode. We talked about a lot of different shit. So, overall, real quick, we got a few minutes. What do you guys think really about Tales of Jedi? Your overall last thoughts of Tales of Jedi?
It wasn't my thing. I like the insight into Dooku, but I think it deserved a little bit more. I probably would have done it like if like almost a live action like mini series where you give me like 3 like hour-long episodes to really dive into like why Dooku left. I think that
even like 30, 40-minute episodes wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. I think that does more justice to him. A little short like that can't capture all the struggle and turmoil that it takes for someone to like drastically, literally go the opposite of what they literally their entire life has been dedicated towards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to give a little bit more explanation.
Yeah, a little bit more explanation, a little bit drawn out a little bit more. And also, I think I would have done it live action because I feel like a cartoon, it's really difficult to capture those kind of emotions in a cartoon.
I agree with you, but I think that the reason that they did it with a cartoon because you can't get somebody else to play Dooku. And
yeah, like a young Dooku. It'd be hard to cast. It's a lot more
It would be hard to cast. It was way easier for them to animate it and just have somebody do a voice acting. And then whoever did the voice acting of Count Dooku in there did a pretty good job. Yeah, he sounded a whole lot like Christopher. What's his name? Christopher
Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. I think he did a good job. I think that they could have done better. I do agree. I wish they were longer, and I wish they would have explained a little bit more. I mean, it gave us the basics, but I just think that it would have just made it a lot better if they'd have made it a little bit longer. CJ, what do you got?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it would have been, for me personally, I would have probably more enjoyed more stories about other Jedi. Because like I said, the whole Clone Wars was Ahsoka. It was Ahsoka and Anakin. I mean, you had some parts here and there like Obi-Wan and a little bit of like Kit Fisto and Plo Koon and stuff, but it was solely driven for Ahsoka. I could have done without the Ahsoka stuff. But the Dooku stories, and like we talked about before, is like I would love more stories of other Jedis we don't know a lot about. And I would love for them to do another series. Like I said, you have the Tales of the Jedi, and then you have like Stories of the Sith or Legends of the Sith. That way we can get both stories, both ends, and then you can get the two different perspectives. Because when you go into other Jedis, you're going to have
one about Vishian.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you do like you're going to have the view of the Jedi on one end, and then you should give us the view of the Sith and how they felt and what they're thinking and what's going through their heads and like what makes them tick. Because we're getting kind of like what made Dooku tick and what made him change. And then you're getting what made Ahsoka tick and what made her. But we already know what made Ahsoka what she is. We don't need more of that. Give me like a Kit Fisto or a Kid Mundi or a Plo Koon or anybody else. Give me those stories and then give me the reverse side. Give me the Sith side. I want to know what made Palpatine tick in the beginning, or Plagueis or Malik or Bane. Like, give me all those in a cartoon form just like this and I'll be game. Other than that, I really enjoyed it. I really did. It was probably, it's not up there with Clone Wars, but it's there. It's in my top 5, I have to say, if they add to it more.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's it.
Guys, well, I think that's all we have for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification. Give this video a like. Let people know that it's a good show. And leave us some of those funny comments. I always like to read the comments everybody leaves. And until next time, remember, stay outrageous and may the force be with you.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by PicFilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.